بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. متابعي الشبكة الإعلامية اليمنية الأمريكية وموقع جمعية التجار الأمريكيين ياما، أهلا وسهلا بكم. معانا اليوم هذا اللقاء المهم اللي أشوفه من أهم اللقاءات، يتحدث عن السلامة وكيفية التعامل مع الجرائم وكيفية الوقاية من الجرائم، وماذا نعمل قبل الجريمة للدفاع عن أنفسنا وللوقاية من هذا الشيء، وماذا يجب علينا أيضا بعد الجريمة. معانا اليوم لقاء مهم مع 3 من ضباط شرطة نيويورك الذي حضروا إلى المجتمع اليمني ليحاضروا في هذا الشأن، فأهلا وسهلا بهم وأهلا وسهلا بكم.
Good morning, everyone. This is Omar Abu Zaid from Yemeni American Merchant Association. We would like to welcome you to this workshop. We're talking about safety and security in the small businesses. We have our NYPD people coming here to give you a workshop, the webinar on the workshop, but the seminar about the safety and how to deal with these kind of issues. We know the crime rate is getting high for some of the areas in the city, and we are here to support, and NYPD are here to support and help to make sure that you guys are educated and you are aware of how to deal with these situations. You feel free to ask the questions at any point in the chat in here, and we will be able to answer any question. I would give the microphone to our guests today to introduce themselves first, and then we're going to go to our topic.
Good to good. I want to say my name is Lieutenant Papavasopoulos. I'm the commanding officer of the Crime Prevention Division.
I'm Officer Jara, officer here in the Crime Prevention Division since 2017.
And I'm Officer Chung, and I'm also an officer at the Crime Prevention Division. I just got to the unit.
So I want to say thank you for allowing us to gather here today. And we would like to discuss a subject that affects us all, and that's crime. Now, as business owners, you have invested a great deal of time, energy, and effort into building your businesses in the community. And I think it's everyone's responsibility, including the New York City Police Departments, to ensure that your businesses are kept safe, your employees are kept safe. And I guess the focus of this today is to ensure that there's a lot of free programs that the NYPD offers, that a lot of people don't have the knowledge that these programs even exist. We will be discussing that in great detail today. We want to ensure that your businesses are safe and your employees are safe. Your businesses are the fabric of the actual community that is here, and we want to ensure that your businesses are well, and we want to be basically supportive of anything that you guys might have. We're going to go into a brief overview of what the police department offers for free, and we're also going to discuss some of the things that, some questions that you might have, some gray areas that you're not sure of that maybe we could better handle on.
So the Crime Prevention Division is a unit that we deliver a free program, a free comprehensive security assessment to various areas, whether it's a commercial establishment, a residential establishment, or a house of worship. These coincide because once we're able to do an assessment and a report for these various entities, different things come into play. When it comes to houses of worship and commercial establishment, grants come into play, which is monetary help to these various areas that they'll be able to put a new camera, where to place it, what kind of locks they need, and things like that. So what the report entails is, I'll break it down to different areas. So we'll start from the outside in. If you have, say, shrubbery outside, we recommend what you should do with that shrubbery. If with your windows, say you have a glass windows, glass door, we recommend using a security glass glazing, which will help if somebody uses a brick, a bat, so forth to try to break into your establishment, that will help mitigate that. That will help stop somebody from entering your establishment via brute force, which would be, like I said, a brick, a rock, a bat, things like that. When we walk in, we check if you have cameras. If you don't have cameras, we tell you what kind of camera you will need, whether you need a 360 camera, a 180-degree camera, a pan tilt camera, just different things like that we recommend, where exactly you're going to place it. Our main focus, especially when it comes to cameras, we always recommend, we want it to be at a high level, where we're able to see who's coming in and who's coming out. That's our main focus. God forbid something were to happen, and the police department comes in and our detectives come in to investigate an occurrence that occurred. So what we recommend, especially in the crime prevention division, is not only a camera when the person is coming in. Sometimes a person might be wearing a mask, especially after 2020 and everybody using the mask and things like that. Say they come in, they do the crime, but 9 out of 10 times they tend to take the mask off and walk out and look back. So we recommend a camera also from the door looking inwards of the store, so we're able to capture a good view of the person. Now, when it comes to types of locks you use, we look into that. Types of doors you use, we look into that. We give you a security assessment that if you were to go look in the private sector, you see how much it costs, and this is a program that's completely free to those that look to access it. There's every precinct within the New York City Police Department has certified individuals to be able to do these reports for them at a moment's notice. If you have any questions, we're going to provide you our email address so we could put you in contact with these officers and detectives that specialize in what we do. And it's just something like that. We also have a program. Thank you. We also have a program where it's called Operation ID, where you could sign up your electronics. And when you sign up your electronics, it goes into a database, an NYPD database, where if we come by and we're able to get your property, it goes into the database and we're able to give you back your property, also free. I have it personally on my phone. I have my headphones on in the program. I have my laptop, my iPad. Go figure, every electronic that I have it in this Operation ID, another free program that the Crime Prevention Division offers.
So again, one, how do store owners get a handle of these free programs that we offer? One, you could email us at crimeprevention@nypd.org. That's one. Or two, you could go into your local precinct and ask for your crime prevention officer and ask for some of these programs. Just remember that the key to this is prevention, okay? Prevention is the key. Being aware of potential risks of new crimes, and these programs that we offer, like we were discussing, the security surveys. These security surveys are police department documents that are created specifically to your location. Trained officers will come to your location, establishment, conduct an assessment for that owner, okay, and document all the recommendations and the vulnerabilities that they have identified in their assessment. As soon as that is prepared, then they could be provided a copy, and then you could use that as an instrument to start, fixing some of the issues that we recommend. Again, these are not issues, they're not mandatory for you to change. These are optional, but these are what we recommend for you guys to keep your store safe. Now, again, these will significantly reduce crime. We've seen this time and time again. that helps a lot. We would like at this point to answer maybe some questions from you or from everyone in the room who might have some questions in regards to some of our programs or anything else that maybe I could help answer.
I was wondering what the technology registration, what is that, how does that benefit the businesses?
So Operation ID is very beneficial because, say, everybody has, I'm pretty sure majority of everybody has a cell phone or a type of electronic, you know. There's some businesses that do delivery as well. There's some businesses that do delivery as well. So on top of electronics, you could sign up your bikes. You could sign up your e-bikes, and there's a database where all of these information goes to where somebody gets arrested and they have your property. We're able to connect your property that was, you know, registered through Operation ID, which is free again, and we're able to give you back your property. You know, so that's pretty much the overview, the spark note of what it's so beneficial.
It helps us, again, this Operation ID, we don't use this information other than to identify you as the proper owner. It helps us with our investigation. So when you say you lost your cell phone, or you say you lost your laptop, or you say you lost your bicycle, and let's just say the police officer on the street stops someone, or you might be on the street and say, hey, listen, that's my bicycle that was stolen a month ago, and I just see it here now, and there's an ID on it. You know, well now, if there wasn't an ID, and we stopped that person, there might be your word against his. Oh, no, I purchased this bike. And you say, no, this is my exact same bike that I purchased. Well, why don't you look underneath the steering wheel column? There's a special ID number on that approves that that is my property. And that's how we could actually help one, either recover it and notify you that, listen, we returned it to you, but it helps us with the investigation of solving the crime.
So I have a question. When it comes to communication, like for us as an organization, we work with people who majorly are Yemenis. When it comes to that, do you offer like anything that support this language? Because mainly like most of our people are speaking only Arabic.
So within the Community Affairs Bureau, which we fall under, we have different units. We have immigration outreach unit. We have a clergy liaison unit. We have members of the department that speak all different types of languages. So say we're doing something like we're doing today, we would invite that member with us to help us be that liaison for us, to help us be that translator when if it need be. So it doesn't matter if we need somebody that speaks Yemenis or you need somebody that speaks Fukanese. Our police department has members that speak all different types of languages. So that wouldn't be an issue at all.
And when it comes to like printed materials, you also like offer that in other languages?
Yes, so we offer, usually, depending on the community, depending on the actual crime, we provide free literature on the language that is requested. Yes, we do provide that.
But we have literature. If members decide they want a literature for Yemenis, like if you go on nyc.gov, we have it. You're going to see the different types of flyers and PDFs that the NYPD offers. That is all broken down by different languages as well.
And you can, so our NYPD crime prevention site. So if everyone Googles in NYPD Crime Prevention Division, that's going to bring us to our page. Mm-hmm. Our page actually lists specifically that all the different types of reading material that they could actually print out. That's free. We have free videos on that. We have free literature on that as well that you could print directly from our site.
What we want everybody to get out of what we're doing today is I'm going to say it again, the free program that we offer. Please take advantage. We have officers and detectives ready to do these assessments. Operation ID, another program like that I mentioned, the material that we offer. But the most important thing is knowledge is power. And the information that you may say, I know this already, but take it as a refresher, you know? But somebody that you know, a loved one, might not know what we're talking about. This knowledge is power, because I'm telling you and everybody that I'm speaking through to today, and you're going to pass that word along, you know? And that's the main focus that we want. We want people to know what's going on, to have an idea that these different programs are offered, and that's the key thing. That's the important thing to us.
So we also provide, again, safety tips. The majority, your Yemeni society, I believe there's bodega owners, right?
Right.
Obviously, we've seen an influx or an uptick in crime in bodegas, and that's a concern for us as well. But there's a few things that we could actually help prevent certain crimes. That's one, we're seeing a lot of the criminals are using the masks to enter the establishment to conduct some of these robberies in bodegas. What we recommend is having the person take the mask off before they enter, and then if they would like to put it back on, that's, again, they could put that on afterwards. But what we suggest to the actual store owner or the person working at that, if you have an uncomfortable feeling of a person that you don't feel too safe, you know, before they enter your establishment, you have the right to say sorry. You are not allowed to come in. We also recommend maybe getting a buzzer system for your establishment, where instead of someone can just walk in at any specific time, they could get buzzed in at any time. So that's some of the things. Security cameras. There's some programs that are coming out through grants that we're trying to get approved. That's going to be offering free security cameras to certain locations that are experiencing high crime and certain bodegas. That's being rolled out as we speak now as well. So we're trying to get federal funding as well for some of these programs that we're actually providing. Some of these programs are these trainings that we'll have here. You know, so some of our trainings here might be in the Bronx today, but you know, next week we have another training in Staten Island that people could attend. For our small businesses, what we're doing is the Bronx as well. We're going to be hosting a Blitz Week where officers would come to their businesses all around the major corridors to ensure that certain crimes people are being aware of, like scams, you know. So there's a couple of different aspects when it comes to crime in the bodegas, right? So you have that person who is coming in and trying to rob the place, but then we also have the technology aspect of the crime that they're experiencing, right? Maybe fraudulent credit cards they're being used as scams, right? Obviously, right now with AI and going forward, we're looking at new technologies to see what we could do to prevent certain crimes that we think might be occurring. But some of the scams have been going on for years that we've seen, whether it's credit card, phone scams. I'm pretty sure everyone received a text message or an email stating that, yes. So click on this, and what we recommend is do not open the email, do not respond to this, and do not give your personal information out to anyone.
And when it comes to the, we all notice that there's an increase in the crime rate in these small businesses. Do you see like particular businesses that has a higher crime rate compared to the other, like could be deli over convenience stores, smoke shops over deli and stuff like that? Do you look at it from this perspective, or how do you see it?
I'm sorry, so can you rephrase the question? Do we see a more of an influx of crime in certain storefronts?
Do you see in some type of businesses like higher than the others?
Well, again, I'm not quite sure what the rate is, but we've seen smoke shops have been a significant target. Bodegas have been a specific target, especially the last couple of months. One thing when the bodegas with smoke shops, we've been seeing that some of these stores were carrying a lot of cash on hand. That was playing an issue. Some of these stores were wide open, so perpetrators would just come in with the masks. A lot of times, might be the inside. Sometimes they know there's a significant amount of cash, depending on what they're selling. Obviously some cannabis, and some other stores that are located in an area where it's just high volume.
My question was similar to the last statement you said. Do you feel like cannabis distribution in the store increases the risk factor of experiencing a crime in your business?
I'm not quite sure if a specific product might increase the crime. I think if every store, properly secures their storefront, I think, don't make it easy for them. That's basically the answer. Don't make it easy for the perpetrator. Don't keep that door open. Install a buzzer system. Install cameras. Some of these small little things is what helps us, prevent crimes. And then being aware of your surroundings. Usually some of these locations, being vigilant. A lot of these people in certain neighborhoods have been there for many years. They know who these, they get the same clients over and over and over again. But yeah, I wouldn't say a specific product might be, more vulnerable to being stolen. I believe how vulnerable the location is, how unsecured it is, maybe might increase that crime rate. So if a target is just very easy to get into, if there's no security cameras, if there's no buzzer systems, in certain items, when we come into your establishments, sometimes we see the most expensive item, instead of it being behind the counter where it's very difficult for it to be reached, we see like the more expensive items being in an aisle where they could just pick up, grab, and leave. What we suggest with certain locations like that, obviously, we don't want anyone to get hurt. So if you're ever in the situation where the perpetrator's in your store, listen, these items can be easily replaced. You can't, so we've seen a lot of, store owners or trying to stop a crime from happening, and it's like a burglary gone wrong, because now the person has a weapon. Sometimes these people are emotionally disturbed. So what we suggest is just let them take it. You could easily replace it,
Piggybacking off of what the lieutenant said as well, we've had instances where these robberies have occurred within the smoke shop per se, and we recommend in the crime prevention division using Bluetooth tracking devices such as an Apple AirTag. Say somebody's taking stuff and they're putting it in a bag. We've had cases where store owners were proactive and they threw an AirTag inside of a bag, and the officers were able to find that bag and apprehend the individuals that robbed them, moments ago. So that's the thing that we recommend. We've been doing a big initiative citywide regarding Kia and Hyundais. We've been distributing Apple AirTags and tiles to help mitigate that, to help these various owners combat this crime that's going on. So it coincides because you could use this GPS tracking device to hopefully potentially help the NYPD and stop the person that just robbed the establishment. So that's something that we recommend. It's very important.
So, what is your recommendation in the case where if there is a crime happening in the businesses, like, how would you advise the store owner, the store manager, the store clerk to react during a robbery, during the attack, during this kind of things?
Again, the number one thing is safety. Safety, we recommend you going back to your loved ones and your families. It's really not worth, you can't put a price tag on anyone's life. So no amount of money is worth that amount. We recommend just if they're there, if they're, and there's a weapon involved, and there might not be one visually, but they might be carrying something. Just have them take it. Like you said before, we are spearheading, we've seen an influx of crimes regarding auto crimes, specifically car models with Honda, Kia, and some Honda CRVs, where the mayor's office was provided through a nonprofit of Apple AirTags, and we've had some other companies like Tile Tracker provide free tracking. So with most of your bodegas, if they're carrying an influx of cash, whether it's in a bag or in a suitcase, you might want to put like an Apple AirTag or a tracker in that bag of money. We've had some success stories before where the robbers came in, they took the bag of money. They said, hey, listen, where's your money? It's in that suitcase or it's in that bag. The perpetrators take it. They left with it and not realizing that there is a tracker on it. And they were able to recover the actual stolen items afterwards.
So, when it comes to also other crimes, like you mentioned the cars stealing and all this kind of things, we also noticed an increase in especially people who leave their car operating and they just go to the store. In this case, how do you guys deal with this kind of issues? What's your advice to the people in the community, and how does NYPD deal with the car stealing crimes?
So in relation to the bodegas, right, and some store owners, we would see store owners use their vehicles to go pick up, because they own a couple of businesses. It's not just one. So we would see business owners either picking up the cash from certain locations, and as they go, they would leave their car running. During that car running, we had a campaign called Gone in 60 Seconds, where the perpetrator would come in, jump in the car, and take off and steal the vehicle. So again, we recommend do not leave your cars running. Make sure that they're secure. And again, these Apple Air trackers and the trackers are a big help, even putting one in your personal vehicles. I actually have trackers on my kid's backpack, just so, keeps me feeling safe knowing that they're in school, but, knowing where they are full time. Yes?
What would your advice be to store owners that feel that they can defend themselves in the situation of a robbery? I obviously don't know statistics or anything, but I'm sure a number of small businesses and bodegas either have like a pipe or a knife or something behind the counter, because there's been situations legally in the past where, I forget what his name was, but there was a store owner that defended himself with a knife before while he was being attacked. What would your advice be on store owners in surrounding that topic?
Defending yourself is one thing, right? However, in situations, that we've seen these type of situations, they normally don't end too well. Either for the perpetrator or for the actual, However, our best motto is, if he wants to take it, let him take it. I think the majority of these perpetrators want to come in and get out as soon as possible. So I think time is of the essence. If they're looking to get in and get out, if they're looking to take whatever they have to take, again, I would never tell someone to not defending themselves, but I'm not telling them to take action to do it. I think that's probably not a good approach, in my opinion, because you don't know what the other person's carrying. He might have a gun on him. Nowadays everyone has a gun, so I don't think it might be too feasible to take any actions like that.
And NYPD does recommend, in case of any crime, the person outside of the store, the store owner or the store clerk doesn't have to go out and create another problem outside of the.
I think what we're recommending for store owners is to help us solve the crime. Okay? What we want from the store owners is, one, possibly install security cameras. get as much information as possible. What is he wearing? How tall is he? I'm not quite sure if you see some establishments right by their door. There's a little measuring of height. Some of those things, like that help us with the investigation. I think those little things that you guys can implement on your door, as far as the height of the perpetrator, what he was wearing, his complexion, the time of date, how did he enter, where he entered, if he left the establishment, which direction he was going. All that information, is information that's going to help us with the investigation. All I'm saying is keep yourself and your loved ones safe, because it's easily replaceable. These items are easily replaceable. A life is not.
I didn't know that thing about the height on the doors. I've always seen it, but I've never noticed the height on the doors.
They're very common. If everyone's gone to like a 7-Eleven, and as you go way out, don't you see like the reflective tape that has the height, and stuff like that is what helps us out. So now we know the exact approximate height of that person.
That's what that was for.
But the other thing is, I think what we're seeing is there has to be more communication between each bodega. I think law enforcement, police department, your nonprofit organizations, the bodegas have to be tied in together. And not only the ones here, but there's certain bodegas that are in that specific area. What we're seeing is usually when there's one crime that hits, these people go to another one and conduct several more robberies. So as soon as you experience that, maybe a couple of store owners maybe exchange their emails. And, hey, listen, these are my numbers. I just got hit. Make sure you close your door, because they might be heading to you because they went this direction. We've been advocating for store owners and businesses to possibly join together as a community and a specific area. Like right now we're here in the Bronx. I think the store owners should know each other. Like, hey, listen, I just experienced this crime. And it might not even be a serious crime. It might be shoplifting. They have a picture of them through video. Hey, listen, we just got this guy. He came in. He took took these items. Watch out for him, because he might come to your location. So communication is probably one of the biggest things today. What we want to establish here today for this meeting today is, one, knowing that there's free services through the NYPD that are totally free for all the businesses. That's one. Two is to ensure that the business community, there's help. We are here to help, and there's a lot of store owners that don't even know that we provide some of these services.
When it comes to the challenges and the barrier with the community during the crime, what kind of challenges and obstacles that you face when you go to investigate in any of these crimes from the store owner side?
So I would say the access to the cameras. Access to the cameras is very important. In my experience, we working in downtown Brooklyn, we had a pretty good relationship with our different bodegas, delis, and stuff like that. So that was very helpful. But definitely the access to camera, the maintenance of the camera system, the monitor, things like that. Being able to have access to the camera to be able to see what unfolded. I think that's a main factor when it comes to these different things.
So do you normally walk to a store to just do an investigation, and you notice that the cameras are not operating, or they're probably broken or something? Have you faced this?
Yeah. So again, usually when there's a crime that occurs, you might have the police officer that initially arrives to the scene. He's going to gather as much information as possible. What we've been seeing at some of these locations is, one, like Officer Jarrett said, their security cameras are not working, or they're possibly not recording. So there's a delay. That's one. The other thing we're seeing is, every store owner should have some type of communication with their community affairs officers, their neighborhood coordinating officers, their crime prevention officers in the precinct, where you can reach out to get certain information to help. Like, like our crime prevention surveys that we conduct, when we come to your assessment, we will analyze the lighting, we will analyze your camera systems, and if you don't have the camera systems, we might be able, through our nonprofits, either help that bodega that doesn't have the financing to purchase them, probably purchase it through the nonprofits, through your organization, and help. We could actually help with the placements, where to put them, how to install it, the angles that we would recommend, and these are all help.
And there's different things too that we have as well. Like my lieutenant said, establishing that relationship with your local precinct is crucial. Like I said earlier, we're here to help connect that bridge, be that liaison. If you want to meet your local community affairs officers, your crime prevention officer, the commanding officer of the precinct that covers where your establishment is located, is crucial. Every month there's a community council meeting as well, where the community comes together, and there's a panel with the commanding officer of said precinct, and they're able to have a pretty much a one-on-one with the community and the precinct. So just taking advantage of these different things is crucial. Just setting that precedent, that relationship is what we're. It's a focus. It's a thing that we're working on and we want to establish.
So, what's your message to the young community in New York City? How do you think they can help you in achieving this plan? And what would you like to
So,
advise them?
I would advise them, one, taking proactive measures is key. Community engagement is key. Having the knowledge that, that we're here and there's certain crimes that are occurring is key to anything. Having that effective communication with your precinct and the commander, knowing, hey, listen, I'm in the neighborhood, contacting that community affairs officers, the neighborhood coordinating officer, knowing some of these people in your community, in your police department that actually can help your establishment.
So I think also the community has to take a role to work with the authorities to just make sure that the laws are enforced and they are taking these measures to prevent this crime from happening in the first place. And also I think one of the things that I noticed, some businesses that are operating in a very risky areas where the crime rate is kind of high. So I think they also should consider looking into the risk of opening late or being in the store by themselves without a company that makes them an easy target for this kind of crime.
We absolutely per se. We always recommend, especially if you're going to close your establishment. You're going to have a closing. You're going to be closing your establishment. We don't recommend you doing it by yourself. Absolutely not. We recommend you having at least another person with you. Just as a second pair, another pair of eyes. Just to have your back. Like I said, it all coincides. Lighting is a big thing. If you go to different areas throughout the city, a lot of people rely on the street lighting. But if you look, and you could, but statistically speaking, when it comes to lighting, it deters a lot of crimes from occurring. Especially LED lighting is very cheap, and you're able to set it up in an establishment, and you're gonna have a well-lit area where, say something's going on, you see somebody trying to break in, you're gonna be able to see what's going on. That coincides with the cameras, like I said, lighting, cameras, it all comes together, and like I said before, like we said earlier, this is all discussed in the security assessment that my unit offers.
Right. Also, carrying too much trash.
Yes.
Again, your businesses, you've put a lot of time, effort, and energy to create these businesses in the community. I mean, your establishments are the fabric of the neighborhood, and usually when one bodega opens, it doesn't really go away. I mean, where I live, the same bodega has been there for over 20 years. You know, and it's family-owned small businesses that's been passed down, you know, through generations. And you know, growing up, I grew up in Queens and in Brooklyn. I knew the whole family because every family member had their own shift. So it was a small business. We knew who they were before we walked in. They knew who we were, and we want to ensure that the community knows that we are here to help them, and that's our goal. We do not want storefronts shutting down. That's not our, you know, we want to ensure that you feel safe, and make sure that you have, that you know there's a resources here, you know, to help you out. You know? Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
And I think your organization might be the buffer between us and the community, because a lot of times they're, you know, they don't speak the language that well. Maybe they're nervous or scared. You know, I'm not sure if I don't want the police department coming into my establishment.
There's a big lack of trust.
Yeah. So, and that's why we're here. And I think your organization is what we need to communicate with them, to say, no, you know, they're not asking for your operation ID for your computer because we're tracking it. You know, we have nothing to do with the tracking as far as that. We need it for crime purposes, to ensure that if it gets stolen, we can identify it. When we come into your establishment, it's to ensure that, you know, if a crime does occur there, God forbid, that we're able to help with the investigation afterwards, so this doesn't occur again.
I forget what they're called, but in the event that like your business has put in the adequate lighting, but just the neighborhood has an issue with lighting, is there any way that you can contact like NYPD for? I know like near command centers and stuff, they have like those mobile lights. Is that a thing that like business can do within their neighborhood, of like reaching out to the NYPD if there's a lighting issue, like neighborhood-wise, instead of just your business specifically?
I think if you call 311, okay, because obviously the lighting initially is not a crime issue, right? But yeah, but it can lead to it, which one, you would call your community affairs officer, but then you could also 311 as well to help you guide, to say, hey, listen, we have a light issue in this area. What can we do to get that working, right? So if something went out, we could actually make sure that the proper entity is notified to say, hey, listen, this is not working. We need this fixed. And maybe we could push to get that fixed a little bit faster. I know the gentleman in the back had a question.
No, we were talking about the safety and the pavilions, and there's one Yemeni store owner who was trying to defend himself, right? And then he killed the robber. And then now he's in jail for 20 years. So,
Right?
huh?
The one from Panama?
Yeah. And then I forgot where he's from, but that's what happened. So he was trying to defend himself, and then he knifed the guy, the robber, and the robber died. Now he's in jail
Yeah.
for a lot of years.
Again, I'm not quite sure with that particular incident, and
Probably you can explain to the community when self-defense could be a crime if you enforce like your power on the robber, or like when you take it as a criminal case and when you take it as a self-defense.
Like at what point is it acceptable for you to be able to defend yourself as a business owner?
well, again, I'm not a legal expert to guide you and provide you like a NYPD policy as far as certain things, but you know, if you just take things through a simple format, you know, and let's just say you apprehended the person that, you know, because you might have a child, you might have a teenager that comes into your storefront, and he just might tries to take a few items off your shelf, and let's just say you do grab them, and they're being restrained. Okay, at that point, you know, he's captured. He's not being a physical threat. You know, you capture him. Again, that other situation I can't talk about because I just don't know the.
I think you went outside.
He wasn't armed. The robber wasn't armed. That's what they said. So he killed
Well, again, I treat every single crime as if the person is robbed, because you just never know, because nowadays it's like, how do I know you don't have anything on you, right? I can't specifically talk about that. As far as the NYPD's procedure on certain issues, I could definitely direct you. We work with the Community Affairs Bureau. So we're here for the community. We're here to ensure that you know that we have services here for you, and we're basically here to discuss anything that has to do with crime prevention. So, again, I'm pretty sure we could direct you to someone in the NYPD who could better assist you to give you a proper answer, because I don't want to give you any answer that might confuse you more than what you already are, and why certain legal issues occur and why certain other ones don't occur.
So, clinically, with the advice could be like, don't take the attraction outside of the store. Just like keep yourself safe.
I'm going to keep it very basic, and I don't think it's rocket science. If a person comes into your establishment to take something, let it go. Pray that you're safe, and say, you know what? Thank you, Lord. I was not injured in any way, and sometimes sometimes you're doing the person good by just letting it go. You have family, kids, and
sometimes it could be like a regular customer who comes every often to buy something, and then one day his mood wasn't like a good mood, and it turned to be like a situation with the store owner. We would see some complaints. We would get some complaint about like when it came to this, like a person was a regular customer coming to the store every day or every now and then to purchase something. There was one day where he came in a good mood. The store owner said something that just triggered his anger, and then it went wild from there. So I think mainly it's just like to keep themselves, to de-escalate the situation is always better than just enforce.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think you said a key. De-escalation is a key. So obviously certain crimes have certain different aspects of it. Robbery would be different than shoplifting. A scam would be totally different as well. But you had a question?
Does the NYPD offer anything for businesses in de-escalation, like training, de-escalation, advice, even like literature on de-escalation?
Yeah, we could probably get you some literature on things to do. Some of these crimes are really simple. Give me all your money. So.
The only way to de-escalate that is to give them all your money.
Yeah, I mean, if the guy's holding a gun to you, I think the only de-escalation is giving him the money and letting him leave. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good time to not give him the money and try to start a conversation with someone who's trying to okay, I know the police are coming and I need that now. So, that might trigger something else. That might trigger him having to do something in order to grab the money faster, for him thinking to stall,
I think we covered most of the questions that I was seeing here. Last word you would like to say to the community?
The last words to our Yemenis community, on behalf of the New York City Police Department, we love you. We want to ensure that you guys are safe. We will be conducting more training for the bodegas in the Yemeni society, not only in the Bronx. This is something that I want you and your organization to help coordinate, to find locations for us where we could come to your establishments and conduct these trainings that are totally free. And prior to these trainings that we would offer, maybe they could reach out to your organization and be specific on what you want us to talk about as far as other than the programs, because we also offer like different types of scam preventions that businesses can benefit from as well, that are also other than Operation ID, other than security surveys. What I want to leave you is with this. You have free services at your local precinct. You could contact us for any questions through our email, which is crimepreventiondivision@nypd.org. We have free online material that you could benefit from if you just Googled in NYPD Crime Prevention Division. You could download specific videos, specific reading material as well. That's totally free to the public. I want to say thank you for allowing us to be here, and stay safe.
طبعا لتلخيص الموضوع وما تحدثنا عنه اليوم، شرطة نيويورك هي متعاونة جدا مع أصحاب المحلات التجارية والمشاريع التجارية في ولاية نيويورك. هم هنا الخدمات طبعا NYPD أو شرطة نيويورك وفرت العديد أو توفر العديد من الخدمات المجانية والبرامج التعليمية التي ستساهم في انتشار الوعي في كيفية التعامل مع الجرائم، في كيفية حماية نفسك أثناء حصول أي جريمة، في أيضا كيفية التعامل مع أي وضع قد يشكل خطر على حياتك داخل محلك. من ضمن النصائح التي قدمتها شرطة نيويورك أيضا عدم العمل بمفردك في ساعات متأخرة من الليل، عدم الاحتفاظ بكمية كبيرة من الكاش، أيضا التأكد من عمل الكاميرات في محلك وتأكد من كونها دقتها عالية. أيضا تحدثنا عن الإضاءة في الشوارع وكيف تساهم جودة الإضاءة في الحد أو التقليل من نسبة الجرائم، وأيضا المحلات الموجودة في المناطق الخطيرة. تحدث أيضا ضيوفنا عن محلات السموك شاب وكيف أن المحلات هذه أصبحت أو تعتبر هدف سهل للجرائم من حيث وجود كمية كبيرة من الكاش فيها. ونصحوا وكانت نصيحتهم أن يعني يكون هناك في العدم استعداد لأي طارئ والعمل على تجنب أي وضع قد يسوء قد يتحول إلى جريمة في حال كان تعرض محلك لأي جريمة سطو مسلح أو شيء من هذا القبيل. لسلامة الروح وسلامة النفس يمكنك تركهم يأخذ ما يمكن أخذه، ويعني المحافظة على نفسك من التعرض لأي أذى لا سمح الله. أيضا في من الأشياء التي تحدثنا عنها التكنولوجيا وكيف أن التكنولوجيا أصبحت خطيرة في الجانبين، الجانب السيء وأيضا كيف هي وسيلة مساعدة في الجانب الجيد. في حالة كان محلك يحوي على العديد من الأشياء الغالية، بإمكانك وضع جهاز تراكينج أو جهاز متابعة. هناك العديد من الأجهزة الموجودة زي الأبل تاج، زي الديفايسز أو الأجهزة التي تمنحك وصول إلى موقع الشخص الذي أخذ منك الأشياء، كيف أنك تضعها إلى جانب مقتنياتك الجميلة الثمينة مثل السيارة، مثل الأشياء الثمينة، اللابتوبات، الكاميرات، الأشياء هذه. في نهاية هذا اللقاء أحب أشكركم جميعا لمتابعتكم اللقاء هذا، وأتمنى أن نراكم إن شاء الله في لقاء آخر في المرحلة المقبلة. جمعية التجارية ما دائما تنظم العديد من اللقاءات والعديد من ورش العمل. أشكركم على حسن متابعتكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.